So this is my personal SWOT evaluation. I began with my strengths. Now my first strength was building on and working with my initiative. Throughout last project and last year, I really focused on trying to gain an initiative as a performer on stage in the moment, and within this project I worked with my initiative in terms of directing and choreographing, using my initiative in terms of when movements didn't work, which happened a lot. My piece was a very physical piece, physical theatre piece, and some movements just didn't work. I'd visioned them in my head, wrote them down, but they didn't work and they didn't fit. So it was using that initiative in the moment to come up with a movement that either did work, or using the same movement and just adapting it so it was safe and more comfortable for the performers. My other strength was research that backed up my ideas and translated into my work. I feel that I had strong research in terms of what I took from DV8 and what I needed to do moving forward. Using the Can We Talk About This clip, I used that a lot and looked at different elements of it. So I feel that was really strong, backing up my work and actually really helping me implement new movements into my work. Now, one of my weaknesses was maintaining my professional behaviour. I had to remind myself a lot that yes, I'm working with my friends and my peers, but I have to remain professional and up to a professional standard of behaviour and what is expected in the industry. Obviously it's in our marking matrix, but also because it's good practice to be professional, switched on in that professional headset all the time. And then my next weakness was not organising my time specifically for recording. My verbatim recording was a voiceover and I wrote it all out, but I just hadn't planned when we were going to do it, who was going to read what line. So that really put us back a lot of time and took us some time to record and actually get up onto Office 365. So it put us back and set us back. So my piece was only sort of done in the last two weeks, or the last week of the creative process. Now, an opportunity I was able to undergo was to create some choreographed movement. So being able to choreograph a piece. My physical theatre piece was not so much directed movement, but I used choreographed devices such as contrast and complement. And those are choreographic devices. So I got the chance to sort of look at a more dance-inspired side of the piece and just choreograph the movement rather than direct the set movement. Also, I was working with a dancer as well, so that enabled me to look at it from a more dance point of view. The other opportunity I was given was experiment with both physical theatre and naturalism. Throughout our piece, obviously we called it chapters because it had several different segments in it and with different styles and genres. I got to work with physical theatre and naturalism within one performance, which I think is really interesting. And doing the research, it sort of contrasted, but it was good to sort of get my mind working and see how it really did contrast, and how that contrast could then become more effective and obvious to the audience. Now, a threat that I had within this creative process was I missed 2 days due to auditions, which really badly affected rehearsal time in the process. Obviously then I wasn't there to attend a group rehearsal, which held me back in terms of I didn't know what I was doing. I had to sort of catch up with this work and sort of in turn do extra research to back up the fact that I wasn't here. So it was just catching up and making sure I knew what was going on, but it did set me back a lot in the creative process, and I feel like I have missed out on a little bit of research from then, because maybe in that certain rehearsal I could have picked up on something that I wanted to research.